All right, guys, welcome. This is your Friday Farm update. It is the 21st of 22nd of May. And so the biggest thing that happened this week was last Friday night, I guess. It was last Friday night. There's a big storm that came through, and basically we lost half of our broiler chickens. So we had about 200 birds out there, and 100 of them died that night. So that's like the biggest thing we've been dealing with. Basically, what happened was on the back of our cages, we have two panels, and we take the top one off when it gets hot outside to let the air through. And they're kind of a pain to, you can't put them on and off real easily. So Friday night, I knew there was a storm coming. I had a lot of other things I was trying to get done before the storm blew in, mainly in the garden, getting the potatoes and stuff pulled. And so I really didn't think it was that important to put that top piece back on. But evidently the wind just blew like straight through the cages all night, and it just rained all night, and so the birds, they just got soaking wet. So like birds can be cold and birds can be wet, but they can't be wet and cold. That's like the worst thing, which evidently is what happened. So they got wet, they got cold, and they basically, I don't know if like hypothermia is a thing with chickens, maybe. Basically, that's what happened. They couldn't stay warm enough, and they just died. And so it was very frustrating. It is very frustrating. I'm frustrated because we try to raise animals in a way that, people always ask me, do you have happy chickens? And I like to tell them yes, but there's nothing happy about birds dying like that in the middle of the night, in the dark, just being drenched. And so it's frustrating as like someone trying to take care of animals, that's how that happened. And it happened to so many. It wasn't like one or two. It was literally half of them. It's frustrating also because we're now going to be like have a deficit in terms of what we're able to provide to people. We were already, with the whole like coronavirus thing, we're already selling more chicken faster than we can produce it, which is, it's a good thing for us as a business, but as a business that also wants to like be there for people when they need chicken or want chicken, we were already behind on that, and so now we're another 100 birds behind, and so that's frustrating. And then the financial piece, like we probably lost about $400 or $500 on those birds, which isn't, it's not a ton of money, but we're not a big company either, and so it's frustrating on a lot of different levels. So we're trying to decide what to do. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're just trying to figure out what to do. We originally planned this year to not raise birds during the middle of the summer, so during July. We've done it. We've raised them through the whole year for the past 3 years, and it's just a long time from 1st of February to mid-December. It's a long time to be moving chickens every single day. And in the summertime, it's just the worst. It's hot. There's not a lot of green grass. The birds are miserable. It's miserable to go out there and check on the birds. Mainly because what happens in the summertime is we had to start running misters in the cages just to keep the birds cool enough. And so the misters work. They're really good, except you have to go out there and check them 2 or 3 times a day to make sure they're working. Because if they're not working, then your birds are going to die anyway. So it's just hard to be here all day, every day in the summer to check on those birds when it's already been a long season. So we really we didn't want to raise birds. I still don't want to raise birds, but we decided to get an extra batch of birds, and I didn't think it was going to be that hard, but evidently everyone right now is buying chickens, not just the laying hens, but even the meat birds. And so my normal hatchery wouldn't have birds for me till like end of June. The processor that I used, I called them and they're completely booked through the rest of the year. So they couldn't get me in anywhere. And so I found a different processor that we're going to use, who seems like they do a really good job. It's just that they're about 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away. Our normal processor is only about 45 minutes away. So then I also had to find chicks. I was able to find someone else to provide chicks, but then they're more expensive than we're used to paying. So it's like a whole bunch of like new stuff that we're trying to deal with. I think we figured it out. So I think we definitely got chicks coming June 1st, and so they'll be processed at the end of July. So anyway, that's our plan. I don't know if it's a good plan. That's what we decided to do. We were just afraid that I was afraid we were going to go 4 months without having any chicken at all. And I didn't want to do that to our customers. We had people who invested at the beginning of this season with some upfront money, and so I just want to be able to provide as much as I could. And so we're going to run an extra batch of 200 birds starting June 1st. So hopefully that'll give us like, I think 6 days break with no chickens at the beginning of August. But anyway, that's what's up with the broiler situation. So we have chicken now. We're running low on whole chickens. We do have some parts, but those will probably start being gone here by, in the next 3 to 4 weeks. The 100 birds we have left, they're getting processed on June 12th, so we will have a little bit more chicken coming in. And so I'm just hoping we have something. We won't have everything, but I'm hoping we have something just to kind of carry us through that. So anyway, we're trying to move on. I'm moving on. It was a bad situation. It could have been worse. It could have been all the chickens. But it also could have been better if we had just if we had just been a little more careful. And so the lesson is, I really need to fix up my cages a little bit so that it's super easy. If it was easy and I could have flipped up the back walls or something, I would have done it. But it would have been worth it to take the extra hour or two to put up those walls, because I spent that much time collecting dead chickens and consolidating chickens into 2 cages and dealing with everything else. So lesson is just do whatever you can, I guess. So good times. Anyway, that's the chickens. That's that situation. Other things that went on the farm this week, our garden is doing really well. We pulled all the potatoes. We had red and yellow, or white, brown, yellow. We had red potatoes. Those did really well. The yellow potatoes, unfortunately, I never went back and hilled up the potato plants. And so I would say about 2/3 of our potatoes are green, which is not good. You don't want to eat that. So we're going to end up keeping all the green potatoes. We can cut off the green part, or we can use them as seed potatoes, I think, to plant later on. But potatoes went good. We picked a bunch of green beans this week, and so we're excited to have those going. I also pulled out some old beds, so I got 4 beds prepped. I planted more green beans in one of them. We're waiting on, I bought some corn seeds I was wanting to try out this year, so I'm hoping those come in. And then I seeded some okra seeds today or yesterday. So anyways, the garden's going real well. I'm happy about that. And then the laying hens, I talked about last week, their production's down in general. I guess when it gets hot, they don't eat as much. When they don't eat as much, they don't lay as much. And so our numbers have been down a little bit. And the yolks are it's kind of hit and miss. Some of them are pretty pale, but they're just not as dark as we're used to. So it's not like they're super yellow. They still have some richness, but they're not nearly as they're not like the orangish color they were about 2 months ago. So anyways, they're doing good. I have, because I'm getting some small eggs, and I was trying to figure out what should I do with all these small eggs I can't sell. And so I looked up stuff you can make with egg whites. What is it? It's key lime, whatever. Like you make, that's not key lime pie. Whatever. It's like, I forget what it's called. Meringue. Is that it? That's not it. Maybe it's meringue cookies. Yeah, that's what it is. So anyway, that was a long time to explain. I'm gonna try that. That's what I'm gonna try this week. This next week, I'm trying making like little meringue cookies with the egg whites, and then maybe convince Lace to make some custard with the egg yolks, or make it myself, I guess. So that's what's going on with that. I don't know what else is going on. It's supposed to rain like all this week. It's supposed to rain it's supposed to rain Thursday. It didn't rain. Hogan gets to rain this weekend, even though rain's what caused all my problems last week. But it is pretty dry, so it'd be nice to get some more rain. And I don't have to water the garden when it rains. All right, that's all I really got. We're going to be at the market tomorrow. The market is kind of relaxing some of the restrictions, so they will have some prepared food vendors there. They will have some other vendors back who haven't been there in a while. So if you're coming, great. Just the market people, want everyone to be reminded that one, everyone's still supposed to be like social distancing, so it's not like a community hangout time. They won't have any like picnic tables or eating tables. All the prepared food is kind of being asked. I don't know if they're requiring it, but they're wanting people to take their food and go. So if you come and get something, you don't have to pre-order it or anything, but you can come there. But the plan is like take your food and go take it home with you. So we are still doing and you can still order online. I want to say thank you everyone who's ordering online. It makes it so much easier, not just like with the whole coronavirus thing and being safe, but it just makes it easier for us to package and weigh out and charge your order from home. Not like it's super hard at the market, but it's just so much easier just to do it here, and just hand you a bag when you come to the market. So if you're able to do that, we appreciate that. This Tuesday we do have a home delivery, so that will be you can put your order in online, and then deliveries will be made Tuesday from 3 to 6. We deliver to Valley Mills, Waco, China Spring, Lorena, McGregor, Waco-ish area. Okay, so you can check, it's by zip code, so you can check what zip codes we deliver to on our website. And that's like almost 13-minute video, so I'm gonna call it a wraps. 13 is my favorite number this week, so we're going with that. Have fun, stay safe, and I will see you later.